Women in the EU are not always safe. Not at home, not at work, nor in public. When 1 in 3 women experience physical and/or sexual violence in the EU, yet only 1 in 5 contact a healthcare or social service provider, and just over 1 in 8 report their experiences to the police, it demands a serious reckoning. We need to make a closer and more critical look at how we respond and how we protect victims of gender-based violence. This shocking reality was revealed last year in the largest ever EU-wide survey on gender-based violence, conducted by Eurostat, the EU Agency for Fundamental Rights, and EIGE. What we also know, especially with our ongoing cooperation with WAVE, is that support services are vital, not only in the aftermath of a violent experience, but also for prevention. Many women seek help before violence escalates further. They're not just a safety net, they are a lifeline. From national helplines to women's centers and shelters, specialist support services help protect victims from further harm. They offer victims a chance to heal, physically, mentally, and economically, and to reclaim control over their lives. And yet, according to WAVE's own data, there is only 1 shelter bed available per roughly 16,000 people across the EU. And this is far below the minimum standard set by the Council of Europe, which recommends 1 shelter bed per 10,000 people. We must never forget, a shelter bed is not just a bed. It can be the entry point to safety, to dignity, and to a future free from violence. But right now, this essential lifeline and the service network that sustains it is under threat. The space for civil society organizations, especially women's organizations, is shrinking. Against growing hostility, political pushback, and chronic underfunding. What we cannot forget is that these organizations are often the first to respond and the last to give up. They provide specialist, survivor-centered care and advocacy that mainstream services cannot always offer, so they must be protected. Without long-term funding, we risk weakening the very foundation of our response to violence against women. If we are serious about tackling gender-based violence, we must be just as serious about funding those on the front lines. Because prevention and protection do not happen in a vacuum. They require political will, proper resources, and trust in the expertise of women's civil society. Organizations like WAVE, who have the power to drive change. Let's be clear. Investing in specialist women's services is not optional. It's a political and moral obligation. Support services must be recognized as equal partners in member states' efforts to coordinate and enhance responses to gender-based violence. That is why EIGE is working on a new study to strengthen access to victim support services across the EU through more advanced mapping. It will look at new and emerging forms of violence and the barriers that vulnerable women and children face when seeking help. This will make sure future services are more inclusive, targeted, and effective. It doesn't matter who you are or what your circumstances are. Safety and dignity is a right and not a privilege. We're very proud to continue our close cooperation with WAVE. Your work is essential, and we stand with you in making sure that every woman, everywhere in the EU, has access to the support she needs. I wish you all a successful conference.